Hello Animorphs fans and welcome back to the Animorphs universe. We'll be shilling another one of my fan fictions today. I finished proofreading and editing Animorphs 62, The Blackmail. Thank you to Ghost of Essam for another piece of artwork. So that is the front cover. I'll flash it up on the screen so you get a better look of it now. What is this book? Well, it's narrated by Cassie. The front cover features a relatively new character. We have seen her before, but this is where she first majorly comes into it, is Pilot Amara of the Andalite military. And that, of course, is her human morph. So, there are spoilers from now on for the other fan fictions I've done in this little series. So, from 55 to 61. And then, of course, that gives the context for what happens in 62. Cassie went with the Animorphs after they returned to Earth after the events of 54 because she felt guilty and she wanted to at least do something to help get Axe back as the Animorphs proceeded to try to find a way to get back, get to Kelbridge space and rescue Aximili. The Animorphs ended up discovering a very secretive, very powerful and extremely advanced planet structure called Enrich. This structure basically steals the technology of all the most intelligent races in the galaxy. And to do that, they basically convince a member of that race in a high-ranking position to hand over all their secrets and all their best technology and bring them all together to create this super organization. One of the members of that organisation is Jean Girard. Of course, she doesn't tell the Animorphs that at first. It wouldn't be very secretive then, would it? But when they left Enrich for the first time, Jake told Cassie to stay at home with Jean Girard. Because, like with book 54, he said, "You've got stuff to do." And Cassie, having seen that she had very little effect in trying to save Prince Aximili because her attempts at diplomacy with the Andalites failed. And so she decides, okay, yes, it's actually better for me to go back there with Jean Girard and work with her. Her being connected to Enrich and henceforth still connected to the Animorphs in some way, but it means that she can also carry on doing her thing back on Earth, albeit knowing that the Andalites aren't as squeaky clean as they might have been before. She's also able to spend more time with Ronnie Chambers, her new boyfriend, the person that she now lives with and works with, or at least she hopes. The last couple of books have concentrated on Jake and his side of the team. Now we come back to Earth and we spend the book with Cassie, her new friend Clarissa, and Toby Hammy, and Ronnie Chambers. So yeah, it is a shift. It's a different feel to this one. It's less actiony than the previous couple of books. This book shows what happens when the Andalites finally decide Cassie was involved with the Andalites, the Animorphs starting the Kelbridge War. That's obviously started because of what went on in previous books. And they want to take the Animorphs and charge them for their crimes. They don't know where the Animorphs have gone, but they know that Cassie was with them last. Having been humiliated by the Animorphs, especially War Commander Torturam, the military sends down Andalites to have a word with Cassie, and that's where this story truly begins. Of course, have a word with Cassie means, well, I hope the title's not too much of a spoiler. I'm not going to go into too much more information. I'll just say that this book, we're introduced or reintroduced to a character who's going to be more prominent going forward. We're semi-introduced to a character we've known, sort of. Yes, it's if you know, you know. Basically, if you've read my really long Animorphs fanfiction called Seer, this one will be quite familiar to you because I introduce a dynamic that is very prominent in that book. So go read that one as well. I need to proofread, I need to edit that one. That one's going to be sometime in the future though. So you can still go read it now. It's on FanFiction. There's also something that happens in this book that I've tried before in a much less serious fanfiction called The Main Course. And it's something that, I mean, sort of happened in Animorphs if you consider the Lurdithak or something like that. But morphing a certain type of living organism that, for the most part, the Animorphs just didn't even touch. Okay? In fact, the Animorphs themselves, they did not touch. So some people might look at it and say, well, that's silly. Why would you do that? But, you know, DNA is DNA, after all. And if morphing technology works on DNA, then they can morph this. So, yeah. I'm quite happy with this one. I think it's a lot less action-packed. It's structured differently, so I've gone for fewer chapters, and each of those chapters is built on more. But yeah, I am quite happy with it, and it's very important for what comes in the future. It's very context-dependent, this one as well, so don't think you're going to go into this one having not read the previous in this series, because you need to have. It's very context-dependent, and quite character-driven too. And I hope you enjoy it. It's going to be available right now on fanfiction.net and an archive of our own. The links are in the description below. Remember, if you want the true Animorphs experience with the greater than or less than symbols to be used to represent fort speak, you're going to have to go to an archive of our own. Because fanfiction.net doesn't allow that. It turns it into it turns it into something else, or just gets rid of them entirely. So on fanfiction.net, those greater than less than are replaced by double parentheses. Just to warn you. The next one that I'm going to be proofreading and re-editing is book 63, The Leader. And that's going to be fun. So stay tuned. I'm going to go pay Ghost of Essam for the next one. Thank you again, Ghost of Essam. I'm looking forward to getting the next one for book 63, The Leader. And I hope you enjoy. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. I'm going to try to get it up pretty quick, because as soon as I've done these, I've got 2 more to do, then I can move on to actually writing book 65. Remember to check out Animorphs UK. The first 2 books are up. And yeah, it's all on those 2 websites that I'm linking to. So please go take a look. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for reading as well. And I shall see you next time. Ta-ra.